everybody, it's Becky and I'm back today with a video for you about how to keep your home clean when you have pets. And specifically for us, it's dogs, just because we have a dog and a hamster. But before I go on, I want to kind of tell you where I am. I'm actually at church. My daughters have Awana on Wednesday nights, and usually I use that time while they're in their class to plan for my YouTube videos, but I've gotten kind of behind on my filming. And so I wanted to take this time. I have a little over an hour that I'm going to film a couple videos in a row. So I'll be wearing the same thing and have the same background. This is one of the preschool rooms. It's also connected to the gymnasium. So if in a little bit you hear screaming in the background, it's the kids that have game time. It's connected, so sometimes you can hear them through the wall. But this is where I am right now anyway. And if this works out, I might continue to do this as long as we go on Wednesday nights. Sometimes they have breaks and stuff, or they don't have it on Wednesdays, but if this works out, I might do it just so I'll have some specific time, mostly uninterrupted, where I can film for you guys. So this video is about how to keep your home clean with pets. And we have a yellow lab, and I had a black lab growing up, and she did shed, but it seemed to be more seasonally. With him, his hair seems a lot finer, and so it tends to float, and he seems to shed a lot more than my other dog did. She only shed, when they normally would shed in the summer. He seems to shed all year long. And so his hair is always everywhere, and we have a lot of black furniture in the house, so that just adds to the pain it is to try to keep up with cleaning up after him. So these are some tips that I have used that help us to keep control of the pet hair. So if I was at home, I would have brought my little stick vacuum to show you what I have, but I'll just kind of explain it to you. We have a Dyson Animal Ball upright vacuum, like the big ones. And it weighs like 9 gajillion pounds, and it's heavy. And it's really good for getting pet hair that's really deep into the carpet and things like that. So we like that for carpeting, but a lot of times for our laminate and our vinyl flooring in the kitchen and the tile flooring in the bathrooms, I will use our Dyson stick vacuum, which is what it sounds like. It's just a stick. It's got like the long elongated pole and then the rotating brush head at the end, and you can detach the pole from the actual handled mechanism and put attachments on there. So what I usually do is detach the pole from the little tiny canister and the handle, and there's a fuzzy, most vacuums come with a fuzzy attachment of some sort, and there are some that are fuzzier and longer and skinnier and wider, whatever. It doesn't really matter the shape, but what I have found is it helps to actually vacuum my hard furniture, like my wood furniture, before I dust, because I end up, if I don't do that, his hair, I'm dusting and his hair just starts floating, and then it ends up landing right back on what I just dusted. So if I put the fuzzy attachment on my stick vacuum and I vacuum all the furniture really quick, it's really nice to get in our TV cabinet where the doors slide and there's little grooves his hairs tend to get stuck down in. I suck up all those little grooves, and that makes dusting so much easier, so much faster. I have to use a lot less polish. And so that is my honest to goodness main tip that has helped me a lot. And so I do that usually every day, and then do a thorough dusting on Saturdays. And the girls will also do what we call dry dusting, where they'll take a little rag and just and wipe it down, every day. But every day it's getting wiped down by somebody, and then I use the polish on Saturdays with the rag. But vacuuming really helps to get the hair just out of there so it's not floating around and landing right back on what you just cleaned. The next thing is to change your air filters in your home very frequently. I think you can get the 3-month filters where you don't have to change them except for every 3 months, but our HVAC guy told us just to get the cheap ones that you replace every month. They're like $3 for a pack of 4 at Walmart, and we change them every month at least. And if you don't, when you open that up and you look and see all the dust that's stuck in that air vent or the air filter, that's coming from inside your house. That's being recirculated through all your air vents and pulled through your home. It's making your furniture dustier. It's making your air quality more poor. So the more often that you change the air filters, the cleaner the quality of the air is in your house. So make sure you change those often, as well as cleaning the grates. The little slats in the vents. I'll vacuum them, pretty much a couple times a month. And then every couple months, I actually take the whole vent off and soak it in the bathtub. And if I have to, I take a toothbrush and go through each little vent just to make sure that we're getting all the dust and stuff, because it does tend to cling to those. So that's the next thing I would suggest. And then getting a vacuum that has a HEPA filter, which HEPA is high efficiency particulate air canister. And basically, it was created after World War II to help in certain circumstances to filter out radioactive particles in the air. So it gets, I forgot what percentage, it's like it only lets the tiniest little bit of pollutants and allergens and things back out of the bag. So like if you have a bag or you want the canister, make sure you get the healthy filter vacuum. And then another thing, and this is a personal choice, is to keep your pets out of your bedrooms. We used to let our dog sleep in our bed with us, or our bedroom. And when I was pregnant with my second child, he would not stay out of the bed, and I would be afraid that he would jump up at night and hurt me, or the baby. So that's when we started making him sleep downstairs. And I've noticed that after he's not sleeping upstairs anymore, the carpet's not as dirty, the air vents, you know, they're cleaner when we clean them out, the sheets stay cleaner, the bedspread stays cleaner, you know, just pretty much everything. I mean, the dander, the pet dander that was up there that you don't really think about, you know, was in our bedrooms. And you sleep up there, you want to make sure that your air quality is really nice. So that is a personal choice we made, and obviously it's something you don't have to do if you like. I mean, I do like sleeping with them, they're cozy, but as far as cleaning goes, that might be something for you to think about. And then keep them off of the furniture, or at least put a pet blanket down. And same thing in the car. You know, sometimes they don't always stay on the blanket, but at least try to keep them on the blanket, because, you know, I have to vacuum my couch so often because when he jumps up there when he's not supposed to at night, and you can always tell because there's a little spot where he's been laying and then a big pool of dog hair. So now we've started making him sleep, you know, in the laundry room on his bed. But, you know, try to use a blanket if you can, even especially one that's designated just for the dog, and then wash it frequently. And then along those same lines I said about his pet bed is to vacuum and clean their pet beds often. So I don't wash it every month, but I probably should. But I vacuum it. Every time I vacuum the laundry room, I just go in there and vacuum his bed and get most of the hair off, and then as needed I'll wash it. It's a pain to get that cover back on. I think that's the main reason. It's just laziness. And then bathe and brush your pet often. Whether you do it yourself or you take them to a groomer, the more, you know, you wouldn't want to go out and roll in the grass and then not have a bath. I mean, that's what they do all day long. They do all kinds of gross stuff. They step in their own whatever. It's just gross. The more baths they have, the better, obviously. If they have dry skin, you know, you might want to take that into consideration. But bathe them often and clean their ears often. And then you can actually vacuum your pets with certain pet attachments that are meant to go with your vacuum cleaner. Dyson has one. It's $70. I know Bissell has one. But you don't have to have a fancy one. I remember my mom used to use just one of the little softer attachments to vacuum our dog. I know that sounds ridiculous, and if you do that, you'll need to make sure you clean out your canister extra good to get all the dog hair out of there. But it does actually help, and it helps to remove some of the undercoat, and it makes it easier when you brush them and bathe them when they have less hair built up. And then a good floor spot cleaner is nice. They come in, their paws are wet or muddy, they have an accident on the floor, you know, the hard surface floor. It's really nice to have a quick mop that you can use in between your more thorough moppings to clean up messes like that. So I have the Rubbermaid Reveal Mop, which you can use with any cleaner you want. It just comes with an empty canister. You don't have to buy, like I think some of the Swiffer ones, you have to buy their solution. It's an empty canister. You can mix up your own solution, so you could use vinegar and water, you could use Mr. Clean, whatever you use to clean your floors. You make it up and put it in the canister so you can refill it as much as you want. And you just squeeze the trigger and the little solution squirts out, and it's got a microfiber pad on it that you can wash in the washer, so it's more economical, environmentally friendly than the Swiffers where you have to replace the little pads. So I would really recommend that. I know there's another brand, I think it's the Cedar brand. I've actually had that one before, my Rubbermaid, and I took it back because it leaked all over me. But I can show you if you want. I can do a review video on the Rubbermaid Reveal Spot Mop if you want to, but that's really nice for in-between cleanings. And then to get your carpets and your upholstery cleaned often, professionally cleaned. Even if you have your own at-home steam cleaner, that's nice, but I think really getting a professional company out there to clean your upholstery and your furniture and your carpet does a lot better job, I think, than the ones you can get at home. So it's not something you have to do, you know, every month, but maybe once a year or twice a year. Take all the furniture out and let Stanley Steamer or whoever come and really do a thorough job of cleaning your carpets. And they can also reapply a Stain Master, like a Scotch guarding type treatment to it if you want to. They say it's pet and children safe. That's up to you to decide. But they can put that on there so it protects your carpet if there are accidents from either your kids or your pets, that it helps to keep your carpet from getting stained. So that's something to think about. They also can do an enzyme treatment, like if your dog has ever thrown up on your carpet. He's done that before and we've been able to clean it up. At one time in particular, we could not get the stain out or the smell. And I know that's gross, but we had to have Stanley Steamer come out and they cleaned the carpet and then they put down an enzyme treatment, and that was the only thing we could find that got rid of the smell. So those are all things you can look into too. So I hope this video was helpful for you. Please leave me any comments, things that you have to suggest for me about keeping a house clean with pets, and please subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.